Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Miranda and today I'm going to be giving you all of my tips for car camping at Coachella. Please keep in mind this video is for car camping, so if you want to see tips for just Coachella in general, make sure you check out the other video that I will link down below. In this video, we are going to cover what to bring, basic information, personal hygiene, and also safety. Starting with the reason you clicked on this video most likely, what to pack for car camping at Coachella. The number one thing on my list is jumper cables. When we went last year, our car had died, I guess from just sitting there for 3 days. I don't know. It refused to turn back on. It was dead and we didn't have any jumper cables. So unfortunately we did have to call AAA to come and jump us. So this morning our car won't start, but this is very easily avoidable if you just bring your own. The next most important thing to bring is plastic stakes because you are not allowed to bring in metal stakes into Coachella. And yes, you definitely need stakes to stake down your tent and your easy up and all that other stuff, but there's actually no metal allowed in Coachella at all. There's no glass allowed in Coachella, which does go for things like beverages that come in a glass bottle you might want to bring. All of that needs to be not glass and not metal technically. I repeat, you are not allowed to bring in metal stakes, and the last thing you want is somebody to come around and tell you that you need to take out your stakes because you're not allowed to have them. It is very windy. Your stuff will fly away. Another very important item to bring with you is a tapestry or a blanket, a sheet, anything you want, but you need shade. It gets really hot at Coachella, so definitely have an easy up over your tent. And then also you're going to want lots of shade. We only had one unfortunately, but a lot of people had one on each side of their easy up and it definitely helped keep their place shadier and much cooler. One thing you might want to consider bringing if you have it is a table, something like a beer pong table, because this is a good way to make friends. A lot of people like to stand around playing games, so you could use this table to set up these games or to cook food, and then you could make a meal and have your neighbors over to eat it as well. Baby wipes and hand sanitizer are also very important. There are showers at Coachella, however, sometimes the line is really long, but even if you already showered that day, it's a lot of dirt. Sometimes 10 minutes later you just want to wipe yourself off again. So I would say bring baby wipes. That could also work for cleaning down your area if something spills. And hand sanitizer is really important. The bathrooms when you're camping are porta potties and they technically have some hand sanitizer for you. However, I like to bring my own because a lot of times that could run out, and then it's good to have hand sanitizer. Coachella, you're also going to want to bring layers. As you probably already know, Coachella gets very, very hot during the day. However, this is the desert, which means high temperatures during the day, but also low temperatures at night. So it's always good to bring layers to bundle up when you're cold and take them off when you get warmer. I'm kind of a baby when it comes to the cold. I am from Southern California and I don't like it when it's cold, so I made sure I brought lots of warm clothes for nighttime when I was sleeping. As I mentioned earlier, there are showers there at Coachella, which means you will want to bring things such as shower shoes. I just use my flip-flops. If you don't have any, you could purchase them for like $1 or $2 from somewhere like Walmart. And you might even consider bringing a shower caddy or like plastic bags to bring your stuff in because you'll want to bring your shampoo, conditioner, body wash, all that other stuff. Another thing you could consider bringing would be earbuds. This is kind of similar to hostels. So if you have a hard time sleeping with a lot of noise, you might want to bring them because even after Coachella ends, there are events going on at the campsite. You might be far away from like the main little dance area that the campsite has, but that could stay really loud for way too long. And then there's also your neighbors who might be really loud coming back, continuing the party with loud activities. You will most definitely want to bring blankets and chairs to sit on. We brought my blanket, so we had a blanket to sit on when we weren't in the tent just outside, and also some foldable chairs that were just easy and convenient to sit in. You might also want to bring extra, so make sure you have enough for you and whoever you're going with, but it's also good to bring extra chairs because a lot of times you make friends when you're camping and everybody might come over and want to sit down. You should also think about bringing a fan and a spray bottle because it might just save your life at Coachella. And an item that I think is one of the most important is toilet paper or tissues, because the porta potties when you're camping, like at the campsites, and also the porta potties inside Coachella, both run out of toilet paper very often. So it's always good to have some with you in your day pack. That way you're never stressing and you always have it. Now let's move into some basic information that you need to know about camping at Coachella. So first of all, there are some restrictions on when you're allowed to leave. I think this is because maybe they don't want everybody leaving at once. So you can't leave after a certain time and before a certain time in the morning on the last day. Also, once you bring your car in and you're camping, your car is stuck there. It is not moving until you leave on the last day of Coachella. So try not to forget anything. If you do forget something, they do have a convenience store there on the campsite, and they also have a shuttle that could take you to go get something that you may have forgotten. Just know that your car will not be moving for 3 days. I also personally recommend that you bring your own food. They do have food at Coachella, and that's good to have when you're inside the festival. And yes, they do have somewhere at the campsite where you can go buy these meals. They are $20 a plate though, so to save money, I would say just bring some of your own. It's also really good to have snacks at the very end of the day when you come back from Coachella and you're just exhausted. Sometimes you'll want some food to eat. Coachella is very hot. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Drink water. Always drink water, especially if you're going to be throwing in some adult beverages into the mix. It's even more important. Drink your water. And I would also bring Pedialyte, and as I mentioned earlier, some tapestries or some sheets for some shade. Another thing you should know is that your camp spot can be kind of tricky to find because there's just rows and rows of cars and tents. So make sure you check where your spot is before you leave and go to the festival. Then it could be even trickier when you're coming back at night. So being able to know exactly where you are does help. But another thing that helps are those big, I don't actually remember what they're called right now, but they're like these big flags that people put up. And if you have your own, you could bring it because that's really helpful to find your camp spot. But if not, just check to see what's around you. A lot of people bring them. So just look for one before you leave and you'll remember how to get there on your way back. And as I mentioned earlier, you cannot bring in metal and you cannot bring in glass. So that's mainly for metal stakes and glass bottles. And if you're thinking you might get away with it, you might. However, they do check your car. When we went through, we were lucky. They actually didn't check our car. They opened our trunk for a minute, looked in, and that was it, and we were good to go. However, a lot of times they will take everything out of your trunk. They will go through your car. They will thoroughly search you a lot of times. They didn't even have us get out of our car, which is really weird because everybody else had to get out of their car. And I even saw them open one girl's suitcase and we're going through it. But they just popped our trunk for like 30 seconds and then told us we were good. You might get lucky like we did and they won't search it. It's up to you if you want to follow the rules or not follow the rules. Just know that there is a high possibility that your car will get searched. Next on the list, we have personal hygiene. And we're starting with the shower. So there are showers at the campsites and they're actually pretty nice and they have hot water. They're really nice. However, the lines can be super long. On one of the days, I'm pretty sure I waited like 2 hours for a shower. So I had to wait about an hour and a half for a shower. So the way to avoid this is by taking a shower really early at like 7 a.m. And I know it's really difficult to get up that early because you're exhausted. However, it's what you should do if you don't want to wait in line. I'm pretty sure I said this one earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Always bring toilet paper to the bathroom with you. This is an important one. The bathrooms are porta potties, both inside the festival and at your campsite, and there is nowhere to wash your hands. There's only some hand sanitizer, but that sometimes runs out, so keep hand sanitizer on you at all times as well as the tissues. And for the ladies, there's nowhere to actually do your hair or your makeup, so make sure you bring a mirror so you could do it at your camp spot. In addition to your mirror, if you want to do your hair, you might want to bring a power bank to be able to put into your car. You could turn your car on and straighten your hair or curl your hair if that is something you were planning on doing. Last up is safety. People steal. When I was in the car changing, somebody came in and tried to steal from us. My best advice here is to get a lock for your tent because people do try to break into your tent while you're away at Coachella and they might steal things like your shoes or your clothes or just your food, things that could be in your tent. So it also freaked us out because we don't know how long people have been robbing us when we're not there. Then at nighttime when you are sleeping, make sure you don't put your phone right by your zipper where you open. Have it on the other side, not by any windows where people could access it and grab it. Last year, there was a really big issue of people going around the campsite, unzipping your tent as you were sleeping, reaching in and stealing your phone. So don't keep it there. Your valuables should always be kept in the trunk of your car, not anywhere inside your car. Keep them in the trunk. And that concludes my list for camping at Coachella. I hope you have the best time at Coachella. It truly is such a fun experience, and camping really makes it that much funner. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Bye!